Hello, the English speakers, and I will enlighten your blind spots about, well, Ljusdal's water tower and a birch that is called björk in Swedish. And here lives Björk, not the Icelandic singer, but Björk that used to be municipality boss here. But now you know that we will talk about some other propaganda and other blind spots maybe, and some warnings about vaxxers and psyops, or even worse things, sting operations. But let's start by taking a big deep breath. So you remember RIB, remove, invent and build. Or remove, invest and build, that works too. Do anything. You can turn this RIB into Eve, for example. Eliminate, verify, empower. You can do all sorts of things if you just have the garbage, the big unholy narratives discarded. So William Marquis, this will be his opinion. I can't verify or check more than I have done. He says that they are murdering Scott Adams with the so-called cancer treatment. So he says that this Dr. Pat Son Xiong, he will come to him later on, but he owns BioShield, and they developed Anktiva. So this is a medication that is supposed to increase and boost your NK cells and your T cells. That will basically do more immune system work. The problem here is that if you boost Scott Adams vaccine injured cells that are producing those NK and T cells, they produce spike now, and that is something from the Moderna mRNA vaccine. So they should test for that and make sure if they do produce this spike and you get more of them, well, then you get more poisoned by this spike protein that is very toxic, even if you are have built up some resistance to it. And they are also using Pluvicto, which is too weak. He has too much cancer now. And they combine it with Anktiva, that according to William Marquis, might make the problem worse and his health way worse. So this Dr. Pat Son Xiang, he is the owner of LA Times. He has an appearance that you can't forget. And while he seems honest sometimes, he has been working with Peter Hotez, and that's a bad sign. So this Peter Hotez is basically, if you want someone that could lie more obvious than Fauci, then you hire Peter Hotez. He's an obvious liar, evil, and just someone you should not get close to. But Pat Son Xiong got close to him, and they cooperated. I cannot verify that, but Grok could. I read a lot of articles that were basically lying propaganda pieces of garbage about vaccines that said one thing in the headline and one thing else in them, from Bloomberg, etc. But according to Grok and according to Marquis, they work together to get very cheap COVID vaccines to Africa. And that might seem like, oh, I'm helping the world. That is not that different. I remind you about the facts that these vaccines, they might be profitable, but they are not that profitable. The big pharma, basically all of the vaccine producers, they make way more money of something that is treating some of the vaccine damages that they have. Here you see some frosty larches, unlike the pines that are also frosty, but they are not yellow. First of all, they should test Scott Adams after if his cells are producing spike protein, and then maybe do something about it. Marcus suggests that they should use Pluvicto, that is too weak, and combine it with ivermectin and menbendazole. But the important thing here is mostly that they don't test for this spike protein production that will show vaccine damage. So it's not enough. Scott Adams has been very skeptical about the vaccines, but he thought that they were safe enough to take. Maybe he's wrong. Maybe this cancer has nothing to do with that at all. But that's not what Marcus thinks. So what we learn from this is, no, you cannot at all let the vax people get into your worldview. The UK Health Security Agency, so that sounds really good, doesn't it? Yes, it's really protecting the public in UK. They are saying that they are worried about the people's anxiety. So to cure people's anxiety, they will not release all the vaccine data. That is very, very bad. Let me see if you can see this. It's very hard. You can actually see the little house. It's called Svedjastugan up there on the hill somewhere, but the camera is not great enough, I guess. Fun fact, did you know that Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of the president of Mexico, she did have 70% approval rating in the 1st of September, but now it's down to 41. As people are noticing stuff, it seems, or maybe there is some sort of color revolution against her happening. But Claudia Sheinbaum, 2 years ago, she found Jesus. Yes, really, she found Jesus, and he is also called Maria. So she found some transvestite Maria. No, she didn't, but she did get married to Jesus Maria Tariba Ungar, however you pronounce that in Spanish, but a little bit fun that she found Jesus, I think. Heinrich Himmler says interesting stuff. He always has a lot of data when he gets into something, so even if you think that's a very stupid and evil thing to say, he usually has stuff to back it up with. And he talks about the Catholic Church, and he says that it's fake and gay. He of course didn't say it exactly like that because he spoke in German, but that was what he was saying. It's a Bolshevik Christianity that the church is pushing communism and hatred of women. That was his opinion, and then he also got really mad at the church for supporting witch hunts, which even the non-Catholic churches did. So it's not only that Catholic church that did this. And he says that it's a Männerbund, fraternity of men that are doing gay stuff, basically. He himself loved women, and his daughter Gudrun. So I've linked to an old article from Gudrun Himmler. Heinrich Himmler. Get your eyes correctly. So nowadays, or actually 7 years ago, there was a little party in the Inquisition headquarters. It's not in the Vatican, but in Rome. and they had a little party or an orgy with cocaine. No children, so that's great. So it's a Männerbund, not at least some child trafficking, cocaine infested parties. So that was great. Seems like Himmler's plan to make the church less gay and cocaine, less gay and fake. That didn't succeed. He was planning to fix that in 4 years. Didn't work. Nothing against Catholicism, of course, but you know the church. Candace Owens, she had a show yesterday and someone was commenting, the Paler Rider, he got deleted from X just like me, but unlike me, he could take his car and travel from Arizona down to Texas headquarters, where he could confront people physically. I mean, in real life, not that he was threatening them, I hope. But then he could get his account reinstated. So that seems to be what you need to do. I was applying again and explaining this exact thing to the ex whatever is working there. So he was also expelled for criticizing Israel, or deleted from X for criticizing Israel. But imagine if you work for X really hard and you are thinking that you save humanity with this freedom of speech, and then you see all these Zionist terrorists that are destroying your platform and deleting paying subscribers. And we, of course, are basically destroying the mission to Mars. I was looking into maybe eventually getting some Starlink instead of the local internet for my father's house. But would I ever trust some entity that is not the same but connected to someone's that have been treating me like this, and no chance of actually talking to a real human being, at least not anyone that is not a Zionist gangster. So they are destroying for the entire everything connected to Elon Musk when they are deleting me like that. And Candace Owens was also talking more about these Egyptian planes. It turns out that they did not actually follow, or it doesn't seem like they followed Charlie Kirk. They went to way more places where Erika Kirk was. So they were tracking her for some reason, maybe because she or someone close to her was connected to all this child trafficking in Romania, whatever. You can speculate in a lot of things which people are doing. But interesting that they follow Erika, and Candace Owens has now gotten the register plates for the cars that these people in the Egyptian planes were renting. So we'll see if she can find a lot of footage of these cars, or there are also automatical data systems that she can maybe access with a FOIA request, and then get some information about these. I'm just thinking about where I should go. Maybe we can go down here actually. James Lee reminds us that in 1945 there was the Levon affair, where a lot of Egyptians and false Egyptians' passports, etc., was used by Mossad and Israel. So they have a history of using assets in Egypt because, well, why not blame the Arabs for what they are guilty of? They love to do that. But not everything is bad with X. They also have community nodes that pretty often is failing, but it seems to at least add more than it takes away. And now it is attacking FBI rapid response. So FBI decided to create an account just so that they could respond to Tucker Carlson, Thomas Massey, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. We have a dog that is defending his mistress. Very defensive dog. Doesn't want to be petted, apparently. So what did the FBI say? They said that there was no online presence from this Crocs that was shooting Trump in the air, allegedly. But then he did say this FBI. But the previous FBI, that is the same FBI but before Kash Patel took over, they did say that the exact messages, not all of them, but the messages that Tucker Carlson had been posting, there were a lot of posts on YouTube that they could have told us about, instead of saying that there is no online presence. So they are obviously lying, and they created an account just to lie. Something is really wrong there. So this Sloan Rahmuth, the convicted harasser that were attacking, for example, the aide of G.D. Vance and the son of Tucker Carlson, same person. She also says a lot of other things, like you can live in this shithole, you bitches, I'm not paying for the new school, even though USA paid for bombing the school and murdering a lot of children. So that's her general statements. And the question is not if she's a horrible human being that should be put in a concentration camp, but who is paying her? She is obviously getting paid to say stuff like this. So that's where the focus should be. And I said she's not a normal Zionist, of course, so you can't say that she's typical when it comes to posting in English. If you post in Hebrew, now that's quite normal what she's saying, actually. So X has now decided that they should stop translating Hebrew. So you have to take the text and ask Grok or something if you want the Hebrew translated nowadays on X, because everything, or a lot of things that they write in Hebrew, is causing hatred, and they do this to protect us, they say. Of course, it's to protect the most genocidal, awful Jews imaginable that are saying Sloan Rahmuth things in Hebrew. So the last weeks, someone is having a lot of fires here, apparently. So this is the old house of my dad's cousin. It's no longer in, it's falling apart, basically. But last weeks we had the Republican Jewish Conference, the World Jewish Conference, the Jewish Leadership Conference, the Jewish News Syndicate. Oh, that's a surprise. And then we had the Zionist Organization of America Conference. Just a few weeks. So they, of course, they discussed how to present a new image of how is burning children alive, how is selling children with Jeffrey Epstein, how is threatening everyone and celebrating Satan, how openly, how can we spin that so that everyone loves it? So that's a big question. They came up with, oh, we have hired this debarred, disgraced lawyer, and she's called Insurrection Barbie, and she has an account that she's obviously not running. She is maybe sometimes running it, maybe it's her, but it's that it posts around the clock, and it's many people. It's obviously an intelligence operation that is pushing Zionist propaganda and anti-wokeness. So she had the kill shot, or they, about Tucker Carlson saying that, no, it was Trump saying that Tucker Carlson might interview whoever he wants. So if he wants to talk with Fuentes, that's okay. People have to decide for themselves, said Trump. So all these Jewish propaganda masters, they have now come up with a total kill shot, and they made Insurrection Barbie write it. We decided we want MAGA, not America first. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Oh, that was funny. You can really feel how they take the gun and they point it straight into their face and they fire it. They just look totally ridiculous. And at least this was not deranged. It was just really, really bad. And why do you want Make America Great Again but not America First? That makes sense in nowhere. But this anti-Semitism, it's everywhere, have we noted. So if you search for something like the Jews declares war, that's anti-Semitic, definitely. And the white declares war, yeah, it's either it's anti-Semitic because it was the white army that declared war, or did have to wage war on the Jewish Bolsheviks, so that's anti-Semitic, or it's just anti-Semitic. And if you go to war for the Jew, that's anti-Semitic. And if you go to war against, or you refuse to go to war because you don't want to fight the Jewish wars, then that's anti-Semitic. So I think you see a pattern here. It's anti-Semitic. Everything is that. ICA is one of the biggest grocery chains in Sweden. ICA is also the Irish Citizen Army that used to exist, and now it exists again. They are saying in a 4-minute video, well done video, some lack of Irish accent in some of the people who are talking. People said, I can't judge that really. This is called gammelgårdarna, the old estates or old cabins. So this ICA thing, they are talking about all the immigration and also about general corruption. They do not mention which you should remove. Not only mass immigration, the usury, they don't dare to touch that. The vaccines, they don't dare to touch that. This revolutionary army that have the same letters as CIA, but it's ICA. Yeah, not suspicious at all. They don't have that much fantasy in, or imagination in CIA anymore, so they just take their own letters and they turn them into AIC, or what can you more do it with? IAC or whatever, or in this case ICA. So be warned, if you're in Ireland and you think this message is really good, which it is, but it's not complete. If you are behind this and you are really honest and you actually do want to save Ireland, you have to do a better job. And if you want become contacted by some people that want you to do stupid stuff, even they might not even be CIA or whatever agents, but they might actually be honest people, but many of them are, of course, honestly deranged. So do not be very careful, and unless they have a full kind of plan, and the biggest plan must be to I hate to use the words, but create awareness, or more than awareness, you need to educate people, like I am doing every day, to root out all corruption and all kinds of psyops and learn how to do them. And this is a old barn special kind, very common here in this area of Sweden. So be careful if you are engaged in anything like this. Working as one seems like a good idea. When you have these Jewish criminals, they work really tight with each other, and they all have blackmail on each other, of course, so they don't have big problems with traitors. But we can't do that. Goyim can't do that. We are not the same as them, and we are not the same as each other even. But we have to prepare ourselves to work with people that we don't agree with Islamists, Muslims, even some sort of socialists and the far right, etc. And use our different strengths to strangle their grip on money, on the narrative, and their power to divide and conquer. We can't divide them, but we can make fun of how they pretend to be divided. And more ideas, but no, we can't do like they can by uniting. And people who say that we need to unite, they are usually people who want you to obey them and make them the leaders. So we have other strategies that has worked in the past. So let's talk about MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Grok. So MTG, she has gotten rich, 4 years in Congress, and she is much more wealthy now. So that is suspicious, but it's her family business. They do constructions and stuff, and it has gone very well. Maybe because they are more trusted, because people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that she's honest and stuff. So they get more sales, maybe, or some other benefit. But it's not anything like rent seeking. She's not taking governmental contracts, and she's not using insider information. She's against insider trading, which is not illegal. So if she does insider trading, that's totally legal, even though it's not fine, as she's against people doing that. But as I said, if you can still be against Congress doing insider trading and still do it, that's okay in my book. But she has just done great investments, an investment in Trump things and some other things. You can read about it from Grok, that did a good job there. Did Grok do a good job otherwise? You heard yesterday. But nowadays it's not Grok 4.0, but 4.1. So I tried the chicken again. Can Grok make a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a chicken? No, it's still a roaster. But I asked it, I want a newly hatched chicken. And then I got a roaster and a chicken. Yes, it managed to make a chicken. And then I tried to make an image of Thomas Massi, Tucker Carlson, MTG, and Matt Gaetz, and someone else. I don't remember which I mentioned. But it totally failed. Yeah, and Candace Owens. Candace Owens doesn't look like her at all. And total fail on MTG. And then I asked Grok, who is representative MTG, and Grok knows perfectly. And then I asked Grok again, can you make an image of her? And then we get a young, beautiful lady that looks nothing like MTG. But if you want to see how MTG looked like in 1963, she was like 18, 19 years old, glamour photo from when she graduated high school, and she looks like MTG, but young. So that was a little bit interesting. And finally, if you want to have Harrison H. Smith, HHS as we call him, we call cool people with a name starting with H also. but he is very upset about all this anti-Semitism, I mean, that is spreading everywhere. And therefore, in 1 minute, he is asking what have the Jews, or what have Jews ever done? And in 1 minute, he actually didn't finish the job. Of course, you need a 16-hour at least documentary for that. But in 1 minute, he accidentally mentioned some things. Quite funny and well done in his car. But now, enough here from Gammelgårdarna. Have a nice day of war, and do not join any CIA resistance, please, on Ireland or anywhere else.